Hello guys, so I have not long landed in Mexico. I've been here for about 12 hours at this point, and as you can see I am sweating profusely. I'm not a fan of aircon, but I actually feel like I don't have a choice in this matter. It is so fucking hot. So I just wanted to share a little update on what has been moving. So I got the nudge that I was gonna go to Mexico, and this was when I was in Egypt. It was like Mexico, it kept dropping in, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like I've been to Mexico twice. I've spent approximately 5 months there over the course of 2021 and 2022. I've traveled all around Mexico, many places, and although it's not like I don't like Mexico, right? But there's places that I've been to which really sting to me, and Mexico in ways wasn't that, or maybe I had framed it in my mind that Mexico wasn't one of those places that really spoke to my soul. And when I arrived here, I'd been traveling for 24 hours. I was just exhausted, hadn't really slept much at all, and I just felt so much moving. And when travel just moves things within you, as within so without, and so I was feeling really emotional, and was just struggling to see why the fuck I was here. And I was on the phone to my best friend. I was like, I can't do this, like I don't know what I'm doing, like I just feel like, why am I here? Even though I knew that these things were part of a higher calling, there was still part of my ego that was resisting the whole thing. And I knew I needed to rest. I needed to just surrender a little bit to the energies, which I did. But then after waking up and sort of feeling okay and having a client session, I then got myself all worked up again, and really was not in a space of observing myself. And I don't know if you guys know the band The Saturdays. They were really big when I was like a teenager. And one of their songs came into my head. And I don't listen to The Saturdays, right? But the song lyrics go, "You need to have a sit down with your ego." And I was like, okay, Courtney, you really need to just check yourself here. Like, you're coming into this new space and you already have all of these preconceived ideas that you're not meant to be here, that it's not working out for you, all of this anger and frustration, and really the invitation to surrender. But I was not choosing that. I was choosing friction and challenge and just being a bit of a bitch. And so I was like, right, I need to just go for a walk. And I'd had all of these initiations throughout my travel, in the airport, just letting go of this sort of tightness around money, and it was almost comical what I was being put through. I had bought this fruit, and then I realized it was like completely fermented. They wouldn't give me a refund. I went to buy a bottle of water from the vending machine. It wouldn't spit out the fucking water. It was just like everything that, everything was not aligning, right? And I just had to sit with it all and just be like, okay, this is happening for a reason. This is teaching you to surrender. This is another lesson in just fucking letting go. And not everything goes the way that our egoic minds want them to go. You literally just have to let go. There's nothing else that you can do. And then I lost my earphones. And I just have to add this in. The issues at the airport started in Egypt when I left, and I have these hairdressing scissors, right? I have 2 pairs of hairdressing scissors. One is a pair that I've had since I was 16, so 15 years I've had those hairdressing scissors. And I have another pair of hairdressing scissors, excessive, that I got in Ireland. And I forgot to take them out of my hand luggage and put them into my checked luggage. And so when I was going through security at the Egypt airport, they got taken off me. I was so upset because of what they symbolize, and I'm laughing because it seems so fucking ridiculous, and it is, right? And also it was they were so deeply symbolic of these two timelines as well. Me being 16, my first ever job, starting hairdressing, and then Ireland, you know, and the whole trajectory that I was on there. And so that was the first fucking knife to the fucking jugular there. I was just pissed the fuck off, basically. And I realized when I'd lost the earphones how deeply symbolic that was of not listening, just really not listening, obstinately not listening. And so I went for a walk. I went to go to an ATM and just try and sort things out and just land here. And I just felt so bad. I felt so sorry for, you know, the way that I had been responding to being put in a new environment, and just my sort of egoic projections onto what I was experiencing. And I felt really guilty, and I had to just sit with that, do a little reconciliation with the land, say, look, I'm sorry, this is not your fault. Like, and I do think the lack of sleep and all of that probably factors in, of course, you know. I literally didn't sleep for like 24 hours, so, you know, could turn even the most sane person a little bit crazy. But, you know, it was many things. It was not just that. I know it was not just that. It was bringing up all of this stuff for me to sink into. And so then I had gone to this restaurant. They had a little shop attached to it, and I was gonna buy this like plant milk, and because it had no shit in it, and I kept getting, no, don't buy it at the supermarket, you're going to the supermarket, buy it there. And I thought, that's really strange, because usually supermarkets have plant milks that are filled with shit. Surely this one is probably my best bet. But I was like, okay, whatever, trust my intuition. So I went to the supermarket, and sure enough, all the plant milks were filled with shit. So I was like, okay, this is strange. And then I just had the thought of, okay, I'm just going to look up an organic, you know, there's like an organic shop near here. And there was. And I realized that last time I was in this area, I had actually been there before. So I'd been there about 4 or 5 years ago. And I went in, and it's just the loveliest women. Oh my God. She's just beautiful, beautiful energy. And we just ended up having this little chat, and there was no plant milk there, but we were chatting away. And she was like, yeah, you know, I'm a healer. And I was like, what kind of healing do you do? And she's like, oh, I'm a channel, so, you know, just whatever comes through. And I was like, oh my God, me too. And we were talking, and she's like, do you want a little reading? I'll give you a message. And I was like, yeah. And she pulled me 2 cards. She pulled me the 5 of Pentacles and the Hierophant, and she just channeled this beautiful message through for me, just saying, you stress too much, you worry too much, that things aren't working out for you. They are. You need to have more faith in yourself. You're here to be a guide, you know, just like trust and have faith in that bigger like the bigger picture of everything that's happening. And I was like, yeah, okay, received. Like, okay, thank you, universe. And so we had a nice hug, and she was just, beautiful, beautiful soul. And she told me about a cenote, which is one of the sort of underwater cave kind of thing. Well, they take different forms, they're not always a cave. But it has like a spring. I guess maybe they all have springs. I don't know enough about them. But she told me where there's this spring basically that you can go and visit. And I was like, the land is speaking to me. I just had to humble myself to receive it. And that's why I lost the goddamn earphones, because I was not listening. I was not fucking listening. And so it really, I had to give myself a good old slap, good old reality check, and also just send myself a whole load of love as well, because it is, as much as I am grateful for this experience of travel and the work that I do, you know, having the money and the flexibility to be able to just buy a fucking ticket to Mexico, hop on a plane, and, you know, I understand the privilege that comes with that. And also it's this thing of just complete surrender, because people keep asking me, well, where are you going next, and how long are you going to be in Mexico, and blah, blah, blah. I don't fucking know. I don't know, you know. And it's It's just having to just move with that. And it tests you, you know, it tests you. All of it is a big fucking challenge test. So all of the things are moving right now. And I know that that's true because all my clients are moving through very similar things in one way or another, being asked to surrender on such a deep level. So yeah, here I am, having at least surrendered somewhat, and just knowing that I'm being guided by something that is so much bigger than me, and I need to have faith in that. And I'm going to visit the cenote tomorrow and say some prayers in the water and just really honor this deep and sacred land, because it is that, you know, it is just like all land has this sacred quality that I wasn't fully honoring when I arrived here. I was like, why the fuck am I here? I didn't even like being here the last time. I thought I was telling myself all of these stories, when actually I got so much from the land when I was here the last time. Like, it was, as much as, yes, there was challenge, it was literally the onset of my Saturn return, well, the shadow of my Saturn return. It was fucking hard, but I had so many rich, deep, beautiful activations. I met so many people that I was meant to meet. It was, you know, it was incredible, but it's also very different from how I'm moving this time. You know, last time I hadn't even I actually started my business in Mexico, but at the time when I got here, I hadn't started my business. I got here in the November. I started my business in the February, you know, so it's just very different energies that I'm moving with this time. And so, yes, we shall see what unfolds. Lots of love.